Joining us now is Bishop Robert Deeley of the Portland Diocese of Maine. Thank you so much for being with us, Bishop.
My pleasure, Kevin. It's good to be with you.
Maybe if you could tell us a little bit about how things are going in the diocese, getting to know your way around there after some years now.
Well, I've been up there almost 3 years, and I don't tell anyone, but I love it. It's a really wonderful place, beautiful place. But with wonderful people, beautiful priests, hardworking priests, and there's really good people. And I'm enjoying myself very much. There's good pastoral work to do, and I'm so happy I have the support of these wonderful priests to help me to do that. So I've been enjoying myself very much.
I understand you recently won the Role of Law Award from the Canon Law Society. Could you tell us about that?
The Canon Law Society of America is the professional organization to which all the canon lawyers in the country are associated, and it's a mutual support, mutual help, and so on for years. I've been involved both as a member and also in the leadership. I was the president in 2000, and around those years I was in leadership, and so they honored me at the recent Canon Law meeting with the Role of Law Award, which is something they give each year to one canonist who they think has applied the law pastorally in a particularly advantageous way. And I was very honored that to have been chosen by my peers. I guess it's like a Lifetime Achievement Award, which means I may also be reaching that age where Lifetime Achievement Awards are in order. But I was very honored by that distinction.
Yeah, and I know you're in the Canonical Committee here at the USCCB, and maybe if you could tell us a little bit about some of the things that the committee works on and what you're moving towards.
Well, the law of the church is kind of the bones of the church. It's kind of what, just as it is in society, law is the foundation of order. So therefore, what happens in the Canon Law and Governance Committee of the USCCB is that any kind of program or document or thing that we're going to do generally gets passed by the Canonical Affairs Committee just to make sure that it fits in with how the organization is structured and how the church is structured in accord with law. And so we might give advice as to rewriting parts of it, or might say that this doesn't fit in with your mandate, or this does fit in with your mandate, or this is a great thing to do. So in that kind of way, because law is the canon law, the church's law is the foundation of the order of the church and of the rights and obligations that we all have to each other. So a knowledge of those is helpful to the good order of the church, just as it is to the good order of our community.
Yeah. Expanding on that too, I know people might hear canon law and think, oh, that's, it's a lot of tough language to deal with too, but how do you talk to, just people in the pew, and what should they know about canon law, I guess?
Well, I guess we might say, first of all, we have to, what is the purpose of law in our society? As I say, it's good order. We have to decide that red lights mean stop, green lights mean no, and we have to have some way of agreeing that those are the ways in which we're going to run the society in which we live. And likewise, that's the case in the church. I mean, the church is a free will society, which means you become a member of it by your own volition. You choose to be a member, but by so doing, you agree to subscribe to the principles which make the church the church. So therefore, you can't say, for example, you become a member of the church through baptism. So you can't then say, well, I don't want to be baptized, but I want to be a member of the church. So that's the kind of things that the law helps us to understand how we become members, how we live out our lives as members, and what are the rights and obligations we have as members. So, for instance, the faithful or members of the church have the right to bring to their bishops, who are the leaders of the church, their opinion on various matters. But by the same token, they also have the obligation to acknowledge the authority of the bishops to be the leaders of the church. So there's all of those kinds of realities in the law of the church.
And you have a new addition amongst a few others as well to the USCCB, Bishop Robert Reed, and I understand you've been helping him along lately.
Yes, I told him to sit with me for this meeting so that I could show him what's happening, because there's 350 bishops down there and at the meeting, and I remember the first meeting I went to, and there's all these things happening and you don't really know what's going on. So it's always helpful to have a mentor, at least for the first meeting. And I have no doubts that Bishop Reed, whom I've known since he was a seminarian, is not well prepared for taking on his responsibilities in the organization. I'm sure they've already given him things to do.
Yeah. Well, we thank you so much, Bishop Deeley, for talking with us today.
Well, it's nice to be with you, Kevin. Very nice to be with you. Thanks for the good work of Catholic TV.